start with our prayer. Shri Gurubhyo Namah Harihi Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Amba Tvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshinim. May we be protected, may we be nourished. May we strive with energy and vigor. May our study be enlightening and not give rise to hostility. Om peace, peace, peace. Om Bhagavad Gita, with which Partha was enlightened by the Lord Narayana himself, and which was incorporated in the Mahabharata by the ancient sage Vyasa, the Blessed Mother, the destroyer of rebirth, showering down the nectar of Advaita and consisting of 18 chapters. Upon thee, O Bhagavad Gita, O loving Mother, I meditate. So we are studying Bhagavad Gita and will conclude today the 13th chapter. So 13th chapter, this is the gist of Upanishads. We can say this is the gist of the main topic of this Bhagavad Gita also is this one. So 13th chapter opens with questions. In some Gita, this question is not mentioned, does not be seen, or we don't see it. But inherent question is very much there. So what are the three sets of question? What is Prakriti, what is a Purusha? Prakritim Purusham Jiva, and then Kshetra and Kshetragya. What is the purpose of this? Prakritim Purusham Jiva, Prakritim Purusham Jiva, Kshetram Kshetragyamaivacha, Etat Veditum Ichchami, Jnanam Giyamscha Keshava. This is the question. That means what is Prakriti, nature? What is Purusha? The one, that entity that pervades everything. Purusham, Purishayanat, Purna Tattva, that is whatever is full, complete, and who is absolute. And Jnanam Giyam, what is knowledge and whom to be known. What is the purpose of this? If we don't know the purpose, then we may miss. So purpose is, as of now, what we see. We are identified with this body-mind complex, with this world. And when any change happens, then we are affected. We have near and dear one, when they are separated from us or pass away, then we are gone. And not only this, its body identification is such strong identification that anything happens to the body, then we are affected. But we have to find out that which is without any uh, attachment or connection with the body. In the second chapter, Bhagavan said, what is this self? Nityaha sarvagataha sthanu achaloyam sanatana. It is eternal, all pervading. Sthanu. Sthanu means it is like a mountain. That means it is not moving. So, but we see so many things are moving. We see this world changes. What is that which does not move? So, this is our eternal question. The question is, what is that thing which never changes? Why? You see, we experience changes, but the experiencer never changes. As of now, we see, we are experiencing this world, and changes are also experienced. But the experiencer is never changed. And same thing happens when we go to sleep. This whole world disappears. And a new world, a dream world, comes to our awareness. And then when we go to deep sleep, then that dream world also disappears. So one thing is never changing. That means the self. The problem is we don't see it. Say, through eyes we see everything, but we don't see our eyes. Even eyes cannot see eye. When it is reflected in a mirror, then it may presume that I am seeing. But this self, on which everything is being seen, observed, perceived, the same self is not perceived. And it is the most important thing, but we miss all the time. This is because of our not getting proper training, not to be aware of this, because of that. So, to get away from this, because if we can see, we can separate the object from subject, then we will not get involved. Whatever happens in this world, nothing can affect us. So that is why it is very important. So anyway, the main topic here is, what is self? Atman. Atman. The person who is perceiving. And as of now, though he is perceiving, he is a bit involved in it. But think of that Atman, self, who is never involved. And this happens, every day it happens. When we go to deep sleep, we are not attached when all objects drop away. So that state is that. So Purusha, one is Purusha. Purusha means Puri Shayanat Purnatvatva. That means who is residing in this body-mind complex. And he is absolute. So this absoluteness is to be conceived. And second word is Kshetragya, knower of the body, knower of this body-mind complex. So these are not two, it is the same self, and the same thing is to be known. So Purusha, Kshetragya and Jnaya. These three are mentioned here. Though in question there are three sets, Prakriti Purusha, Kshetragya and Jnanam Jnayam. But in reality, Purusha, Kshetragya, Purusha means this, who is residing within this, and knower of this body-mind complex, and also what is to be known. These three are three names of same entity, that is the self. So Prakriti and Kshetra, these are the second set. That means one is Atma, the self. Atma is Purusha, Kshetragya and Geya. Atma is the self and who is all-pervading, and he is the knower of this body-mind complex, and he is the only thing to be known. And Anatma, what is Anatma? Anatma is whatever we see, whatever we observe, whatever we perceive. So that is Anatma. Anatma means whatever not self. So self and non-self. So these two main category. And one thing is what is jnana, what is knowledge. And here, what is knowledge here? By which we can attain knowledge, jnanam. So one is achetana, achetana means inert. One is chetana, conscious being. And whatever is achetana, that means unconscious, that is jada, inert. And who is chetana, conscious, he is aware of the whole scenario. So, as of now, we feel that body is also chetana. See, if somebody pinches me, we will be aware of it. But it is because of the conscious being, the presence of conscious being. So is it limited here? No, it is not limited. Rather, it is because of presence of this knower of this body, we are conscious about it. So, two examples are given. One is Akasha. Yathakasha sthito nitya vayu sarvatra gumahan. Yatha sarvagatam shauksmat akasham nopalipyate. Sarvatra avasthito dehe tathatma nopalipyate. So this self is not taintable. It is not upalipyate. That means not tainted by this. Yathakasha sthito. This akasha. See, whatever we perceive in and through akasha. Is in and through this space. But we don't, we experience this akasha. We take it for granted. Similarly, in and through ourself, we experience whatever we are perceiving. So everything is perceived in and through the self, but we don't experience the self. Yatha akasha sthito nitya shauksmat akasham nopalipyati. Because it is very subtle. You cannot paint something on the akasha. On the space you cannot paint, or you cannot soak the space. Though it is all pervading, similarly this self is also all pervading, but we cannot taint it. So here it is present in the body-mind complex, and it is also present in all being. That's why it is sarvagatam, all pervading. So tathatma nopalipyasti. Similarly, though we perceive this body-mind complex, but it is not tainted by body-mind complex. So this we are to conceive. If we can conceive, then nothing can touch us, nothing can affect us. And then another example is given, Yatha prakasha tekaha krishnam lokamivam ravi. Like a sun. When sun is present, that everything is lighted. So, as the one sun illumines all this world, so does he who abides in the body, Kshetra, O descendant of Bharata, illumine the whole Kshetra. That means in the presence of ourself, this whole world is experienced. We see various sceneries. We experience so many things, emotions, even thoughts. All are possible because of our own self. In it, everything is revealed. It is illumined because of this. So, these two examples we have to keep in mind, that our self is all pervading, like Akash, space, and it illumines everything. I give example of your dream. In your dream, whatever you perceive, it is your projection. There is no third party who would come and illumine that. Whatever we experience or see or hear or taste, touch, everything of our dream is our expression, our projection. It's not that somebody else is coming here. Similarly, whatever world that we experience, it is our own projection. The way we want to see, everything becomes like that. And this self is all pervading. Though it looks like it is localized only in this body, but it is not. Like light is emitting and it is illuminating, but we don't see in between. But here also there is light, but we don't see this light. What we see, wherever it is falling and reflecting, then we can see that. But this light is all pervading. Similarly, this awareness consciousness is all pervading. And in that awareness consciousness, everything is illumined. So this is Kshetrajna. And whatever is reflected on, that is Kshetra. So Kshetra Gaur Jnanam Antaram Jnanachakshusha Bhuta Prakriti Moksham Cha Ye Viduryanti Te Param. They who thus with the eye of knowledge perceive the distinction between the Kshetra, that means the object, all object, whatever object we perceive, all objects, and Kshetrajna, perceive the distinction between the Kshetra and the Kshetrajna, that means the knower of, that means knower. One is knower and what is known. Who is knower? Knower is not any part of anything. It is full, it is absolute. It may look like it is breaking, but actually it is not breaking. It is not part or parcel of any other things. It is not product of so many things. It is a combination of so many things. It is within us. It is not that we need to find somewhere else, but it is already within us. So we are to conceive that. This self is all pervading, nityaha, sarvagataha, eternal and all pervading, achaloyam sanatana. It is achala, it is not moving. And abhaya, nothing is, say abhaya, the abhaya means it is not reduced to nothing, or it never reduces, it never spent, as it were. So abhaya. As of now, we see this world. Of course we see this world. Then we have to understand who sees this world. We see this world because of our conscious awareness. See, this lectern or this computer cannot see. Then who is seeing? Who is observing? The things are there. Through our eyes we see. Through our ears we hear. Through our tactile sense we touch. And through our tongue we taste. So these are various experiences But experiencer is the one. And we have to discover this experiencer. If we can discover this experiencer, and if we can find the unity in it, then whatever changes are happening in Prakriti, in nature, so that will not affect us. And things will change. Prakritehe kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashah ahankara vimuratma karta aham iti manyate. In Prakriti, everything is being displayed. And that display also is happening because of your presence. In your family, nothing happens except you. Say, in your dream, nothing happens other than your projection. Similarly, your world also. Whatever happens in your world, it happens in your presence. But you are not affected by it. So this is to be cultivated. So first we can see the world, but then we have to find out behind this are experiencer. Who is experiencing? And who is experiencing? The Sat, the existence, awareness, and bliss. So this self, it is called Chit Swarupa. Chit means conscious. So whatever experience that I have is because of my consciousness. In our consciousness we experience. So what is happening? Consciousness is constant, but experiences are fleeting. Now we can concentrate on consciousness. When we are only conscious of our consciousness, then no experiences can affect us. Experiences will come and go. Things will come and go. Only we need to concentrate on our consciousness. Then what we can see? Then whatever changes are happening, that is not different from me. Then we are not affected at the same time. So first we have to discover this truth within. Then we have to extend the same truth to external world also. As Sri Ramakrishna, he goes to Samadhi. Time and again he goes to Samadhi and comes back. And then he says, I see all beings are like pillowcases. Behind that it is the same truth which is manifesting. So once one experiences this truth within, then whatever he or she experiences outside, there is no denial of it. But at that moment, what he or she can experience is it is the same extension of the same thing. And sometimes one should be able to withdraw the whole thing. Say, as in a dream sleep, deep sleep, what we do? Then this whole world is absorbed within us. We alone remain. All other things are absorbed. So this way, even we are healed in a better way. So this is the gist of this chapter. So one is, let us concentrate on what are the jnana sadhanani. How can we achieve this? Because if we can achieve this, then we have done. So jnana sadhana is very important. So it says amanityam, adambhitvam, ahimsa, kshanti, arjavam, acharyopasanam, shaucham, stairyam, atma vinigraha. And indriyartheshu vairagyam anahankara evacha. So what are the things? First is humility. When we are humble, then only we can welcome the teachings of the scriptures and also teachings of our teachers. But if we are arrogant, then we cannot. So first we should be like blotting paper. Whatever comes in our way, Whatever, of course, whatever is good. So we need to discriminate also. That we need to soak in. Amanitvam, adambhitvam, not to boast, not to adambhitvam is unpretentiousness. And what we are not, we try to express that, we show our undue capacities, or whatever we are not, we want to show that. So that should be avoided, because that distracts our mind, that drains our energy out. Adambhittam, ahimsa, not to injure anyone, mentally or physically or even through speech. Then what happens? Our energies will not be dissipated. Then comes kshanti, kshama. Kshama means forbearance. When we react, what we do? We waste our energy. So it is better to forgive and forget. One can remember, because if you remember, then you won't do the same mistake again and again. If you don't remember, then the repetition may occur. Therefore, one should keep it, but kshanti means to forgive. Arjavam, straightforwardness, not crookedness. Arjavam, simplicity. That one should inculcate in one's life. Acharyopasanam, that means service to teacher. That means what? What service a teacher wants? If one cultivates this truth, discovers this truth within, that is the service. And no one wants that, physical service, but that can be rendered, no doubt about it. But the main thing is to follow the teaching. That's more important. Then shaucham, cleanliness. Cleanliness in body mind. That is, body should be clean, mind should be clean, not to think ill of somebody else. And also speech. One should not harm others by word or intention. Shaucham, stharyam, steadiness, not fickleness. Many times it happens that we want to grab something, then we do something else. So that is not the thing. One should tread on that path continuously and for longer time. Steadfastness and self-control. So these are essential in our lives to cultivate and to find out what is our real self. Guru has given us a mantra, and we try to meditate on it. We try to repeat that same mantra. So this way what happens? We are concentrating on our real self, and all other outgoing forces are either obliterated or make less effective. So this way we try to achieve this. Then comes indriyartheshu vairagyam anahankara evacha. Indriyartheshu vairagyam means things will be there, perceptible through our senses, which may attract us or which may repulse us. Both can be possible, but we should not under their sway. Indriyartheshu vairagyam. By what? By renunciation. Anahankara evacha, and not to be egoistic. The renunciation of sense objects and also absence of egoism. A reflection on the evils of birth, death, old age. One should think all this. Why? Because then we will not be attracted to have birth again. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Dukkha, Doshanudarshanam. One should see the defects and suffering of birth, death, old age, and also death, old age and sickness, and pain out of that. So this way one should see this world. Then what will happen? Gradually detachment will come. Then one is not attracted to this. Otherwise, people think eating, drinking, merrymaking, that's the whole of our life. But that is not the case. Asakti anavishangah putradara grihadishu nityam cha samachittattam ishtanishtopatishu. So what are these? Non-attachment, non-identification of self with son, wife, husband, home and the rest. Not to disregard them. Disregarding also is hating. That is not the objective. Objective is to be detached. Home and the rest, and constant even-mindedness in the occurrence of the desirable and the undesirable. So many things we want, and when it comes to our life, then we are elated. And many things we don't want, if those things come to us, then we are depressed. Both should be avoided. Then only this evenness of mind will come to us. So non-attachment, non-identification of self with son, wife, home and the rest, and constant even-mindedness in the occurrence of the desirable and the undesirable. Now comes main thing. This is to dissipate the seeping energy, to stop the dissipation of energy. Then what is to be done? Maicha ananya yogena bhakti abhyabhicharini. Unswerving devotion to me by the yoga of non-separation. Resort to sequestered places. Distaste for the society of men. That means not to get disturbed. Most of the time, like we are pleasure seeking. And we want lots of pleasure. See, many people say go for surfing or hiking. But what happens? After that one is tired. Though it in the beginning it gives a sensation, excitement, but ultimately that brings us tiredness. So one should not indulge too much in it. We should not stop life, whatever life takes us. Let us be there with detached mind. So, Maicha Ananya Yogana, unswerving devotion to me by the yoga of non-separation. Resort to sequestered places, distaste for the society of men. Why it is said this? We can see for a scientist, if he is in crowded places, he cannot discover that. He must go to your lab and concentrate there. Then only one is available to discover some truth of nature. So, that is why it is required. Total concentration can be achieved when one is away from society. Otherwise, some disturbances will come. But for us we cannot avoid. So whatever is possible, that is fine. Say for Arjuna had to fight. So that time he had to see a way by which both ends are fulfilled. That means God himself told him, okay, what you do? Mam anusmara yuddhacha. You remember me and fight it on. So wherever we are, we cannot jump out of it. So, as Sri Krishna said, that we are to remember God, and then whatever duties that we are to perform, that we are to perform. Now comes main thing, Adhyatma Jnana Nityatvam. This self, knowledge of self, Atma Jnana, it is not that something we acquire. Knowledge of self means self itself. Say, ornaments are made of gold. And gold is separate, ornaments are separate, we cannot see this. See, something is separate. We can see this screen is separate from me. So something we can see separate, but something are inherent. Gold is inherent in an ornament. We cannot show ornament without the gold, without the object. So similarly, what is Adhyatma Jnana? Adhyatma means one's own self. Adhyatma. Adhyatma Jnana Nityat, constant application to spiritual knowledge. This is to be contemplated again and again. Adhyatma, Adhi Atma. Atma means self. Adhi means regarding the self. Nityatvam. This is eternal. All the time it is there. In our waking state it is there. In our sleeping state it is there. In our deep sleep. In all conditions this self is eternal. It is not changing. It is nitya. Adhyatma Jnana Nityatvam, Tattva Jnanartha Darshanam. And Tattva Jnana, understanding of the end of true knowledge. What is true knowledge? Knowledge of objects may differ, but knowledge of self is not differing. It is not separate knowledge of. So Adhyatma Jnana Nityatvam, Tattva Jnana Artha. Tattva means the reality, knowledge of reality. And what is the meaning of that? What is the indication of that? What is it pointing to? That means our real self, which is never changing. Nityaha, Sarvagataha, it is all pervading. Sthanu, it is like unchanging. So this is all the time you have to contemplate. Constant application to spiritual knowledge, understanding of the end of true knowledge. This is declared to be knowledge, and what it opposed to, it is ignorance. So knowledge, to cultivate this self-knowledge. Knowledge of this self, the experiencer, the observer. Whatever we observe, whatever we experience may change, but this never changes. Now, what is to be known? I shall describe that which has to be known, knowing which one attains to immortality. Why it is important? Because then only we are immortal. And what we do in our japa and meditation, we try to concentrate on our own self, or we can say on our Ishta. But ultimately we can find that Ishta, the chosen ideal, and you, the contemplator, who is contemplating, are not two different entities. So here three words are given: Purusha, Kshetrajna, and Geya. So here the same thing. But this Geya is not confined here in the self only, but it is pervading all. Sarvatah panipadam tat sarvatokshi shiromukham sarvatah shruti malloke sarvam avrita tishtati. I am seeing you, you are seeing me. You are the experiencer, I am the experiencer. Experiencer is one, and experience objects may come and go. So, sarvagatam sarvatah panipadam tat sarvatokshi shiromukham sarvatah suti malloke sarvam avrita tishtati. That means, with hands and feet everywhere, with eyes, heads and mouths everywhere, with ears everywhere in the universe that exists pervading all. In your consciousness, this whole world is appearing. So you can see so many hands and feet and eyes and heads, etc. So, who is pervading? When you are seeing, when seeing so many people and so many even animals or plant kingdom, your consciousness, your awareness is covering them. Then only you can see so many. In your dream, when you see something or experience something, what is happening? Your awareness is covering all those. That is why you can see. In the words of Sri Ramakrishna, I see all are like pillowcases, but behind that it is mother who is uki juki marche. That means she is peeping. But in reality, what is happening? The observer is seeing. So observer can see so many forms, so many heads, so many eyes, so many feet. So everywhere, whatever one is experiencing, there it is the same self who is experiencing. So self is constant, all objects may differ. And sarvendriya gunabhasam, sarvendriya vivarjitam. And this is peeping out from all sense organs, but bereft of all sense organs. Why? Because consciousness is not confined to any sense organs. Consciousness, see, like when you are seeing, when you are observing, then the same observer is hearing, same observer is seeing, same observer is doing all other things. There is breathing, all activities that's happening, the same observer. So, sarvendriya gunabhasam, it is, say, in all being we can see, it is the same self who is peeping out. It is not that the divine is different. It is not that the consciousness is different. Consciousness is the same. Only it is coming through various sense organs. But it is bereft of all sense organs. That means only the gist, or only the main awareness, consciousness, that is the main thing. Sarvendriya vivarjitam. Asaktam sarvabhrichaiva nirgunam gunabhuktricha. Shining by the functions of all the senses, yet without the senses, absolute, yet, see, when you are perceiving, you are not, see, through eyes you may accept some impulses. Through your ears you can accept some impulses. But the perception happens, that is without any impulses. Perception happens when those impulses come in front of your awareness consciousness. So this perception happens without any sense organs. I am seeing you. The images that is coming to our eyes, to my eyes, are taken to my mind. And mind presents that those impulses to myself, then I am aware of yourself or whatever objects that I am seeing. So the observer is not with some senses. Sarvendriya gunabhasam, sarvendriya vivarjitam. So he is bereft of all senses, but everything is perceived by him. Apanapadi javano grihitva. So without feet it walks, without hand it grabs. Why? Because it does not require any senses. Okay, we go forward. Shining by the functions of all the senses, yet without the senses. Absolute, yet sustaining all. Avoid of gunas, yet they are experiencer. Now, is it inside or outside? What is inside? What is outside? We think this is skin, within the skin is inside, with outside is inside. Say when you are wearing like specs, we think behind this is the inside, and outside of this is outside. So this, this though it's outside, but we think it is inside. Similarly, when we observe our body, what happens? We can see, oh, it is paining here. Sometimes pain disappears. Paining the sciatica or inguinal nerve, whatever. And then that disappears. So we can observe it is outside. So whatever is seemingly inside is also outside. Then our thoughts, emotion, these can be observed. So when we observe, it is outside, as I am observing this. But when we think that is no, it is part of me, then suffering starts. So what we are to do, we are to see that these are objects. So bahirantascha bhutanam acharam charamevacha sukshmatvat avijñam durastham chantike chata. Without and within all beings, the unmoving and also the moving, because in its presence it looks like it is moving. In its absence, nothing, no work happens. So without and within all beings, bahi antascha bhutana. So this self is all pervading. So whatever we conceive inside or outside, it pervades everything. Acharam charamevacha. It moves, but it does not move. Unmoving, though it is moving. Because of its subtlety, incomprehensible. So it is subtle, no doubt about it. And it is difficult to conceive. But one great factor is we are that. We are this self who is this subtle, very subtle. But still we are that. So this is the saving factor. Incomprehensible, but we are that. It is far and near. Those who do not understand, for them it is far away. Seventh heaven. But those who understand, he knows that it's within us. Ishvaraha sarva bhutanam riddeshe Arjuna tishtati. So, O Arjuna, God resides within us. Not only all sarva bhutanam riddeshe. So, he is within us. Therefore, not to worry about. Now, he looks like vibhakta. It's divided, as if it looks like. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam eva cha sthitam. Bhuta bhatri cha tajgeyam grashishnu prabha vishnu cha. Impartible. We think that, I am separate, this is separate. But actually, all are happening in our awareness consciousness, which is not partible. So impartible, yet it exists as if divided in beings. It is to be known as sustaining beings and devouring as well as generating. So, Grashishnu, that means it takes away. Say, as of now, you are waking in waking state. But when you go to deep sleep, everything is absorbed in you. And again, the next morning, again comes out of you. So this everything is taken in it, and from there, again it expresses outside. Vishnu, Prabhu Vishnu. Everything is created. Not only this, the whole world is created in you. Whole world you project the next day, and whole world you absorb when you go to deep sleep. So he is the creator, he is the absorber. Bhuta Bhartri Chatajgeyam. So he is the sustainer. Even whatever we experience, it is sustaining. So this self alone is the sustainer, absorber, and projector. So he creates and he preserves and he destroys. And he is not divided, though it looks divided, indivisible. So, impartible, yet it exists as if divided in beings. It is to be known as sustaining beings and devouring as well as generating them. So, what is happening actually? Even when you are present here, you are listening, within you there is something which never changing. So you see changes, dhyayativa, lelayativa, as if you are born, as if you are leading a life, but you are unattached. You are all pervading. In you, everything is conceived. So this is the thing that is happening. Jyotisham api tad jyoti tamasaha paramuchyate. So it is light of all lights. These lights is ineffective when you are not aware of it, when you are unconscious. Who knows these lights are there or not? One can conceive, no, when I am unconscious, maybe there is light. That's our concept. And science also is coming to that conclusion. Or we cannot say conclusion because science keep on changing. But now observer. When observer factor is present, then only this is in this form, observable form. And when observer factor is absent, then we do not know what its nature is. It is in quantum. And nowadays they have conceived that 9 kinds of existence, vibrations are available. But we do not know. So when there is observer, then everything observed is present. But if there is no observer, see what happens when you're in your deep sleep. No objects are available. Similarly, when we change this body or we transcend this body, what happens? The things are not transactionable. Though I survive in all situations, though I am all pervading, but it requires some vehicle to express. And then only transaction happens. So this body-mind complex is like that, Prakriti. Prakritim Purushan Chaiva. So Jyotisham api tad jyoti tamasa paramuchyate. The light even of lights, it is said to be beyond darkness. Knowledge and and the one thing to be known. This is the only one thing to be known. What is my real self? And by the grace of God, we have received a mantra and we try to cultivate that. What is this self? What is the existence, awareness, and bliss absolute? And this is the goal of life, the goal of knowledge, dwelling in the hearts of all. So it is not that only incarnations have got it, not only jnanis have it. No, we also have. We are so fortunate. Actually, we are not only this. Whatever creation happens by your will. Only thing we need to understand this. इति क्षेत्रम तथा ज्ञानम ज्ञेयम चोक्तम समासतः मद्भक्त एतद् विज्ञाय मद्भावय उपपद्यते. Thus, kshetra, knowledge, kshetra means the field, knowledge and that which has to be known, jnayam, have been briefly stated. Knowing this, my devotee is fitted for my state. What else he wants? Sri Krishna, God Himself, says, if a devotee understands this, then he attains my states, my state. Madbhava upapadyate. That means one, when he knows this self, attains my state as I am. So, as of now, what is happening? Purusha prakriti-stho hi bhunkte prakriti jan gunan. As of now, we are enjoying. Enjoying means suffering also. Rather, suffering only. We are enjoying or suffering when we are in the prakriti. Purusha prakriti-stho hi bhunkte prakriti jan gunan. Why we suffer? Because in Prakriti there are three gunas, sattva, rajas and tamas. Sometimes you are indulged in activities, sometimes we are indolent, and sometimes we are serene. So when we are serene, we enjoy sattvika sukha. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati raja karmani bharata. So when we are sattvika, then we are happy. But when we are active, very overactive, then we are engaged in work. We cannot stop ourselves, or workaholic. And when we are in tamas, then we suffer. Sattam sukhe sanjayati raja karmani bharata jnanam abritta tu tamaha. So when our knowledge is covered, then we suffer. So it is better to first go to the rajas activities and then to sattva, the sereneness, the balanced state of mind. So this will come in next chapter, 14th chapter. So Purusha and the Prakriti experiences the gunas. Purusha seated in Prakriti. When Purusha is one with Prakriti, when Purusha is engaged in Prakriti, then he suffers, experiences the gunas, born of Prakriti. So whatever is happening by the Prakriti, it's three gunas, the display of three gunas. The reason of his birth in good and evil wombs is his attachment to the gunas. And the Supreme Purusha is this body and the Supreme Purusha in this body. Supreme Purusha in this body also called the looker on, drashta, upadrashta, anumanta cha. Upadrashta, anumanta cha, bharta, bhokta, maheshwara, paramatmeti chapyukto dehesmin purusha para. And the Supreme Purusha in the body is also called the looker on, the permitter, the supporter, and experiencer, the great Lord, and the highest self. So, this within us, we have to discover this. Within us, this looker on, this permitter, Anumanta, Paramatma, the Supreme Being, or Gyayam, what is to be known, Purusha, the Absolute, the Perfect One, and Atman, Self, Kshetragya, knower of this body. So this is our real self. We are to discover this. We are to find this. We are to be that. As of now, we are entangled in the Prakriti. But as we get the separation, idea of separation concretized, then we are not affected. Whatever happens in this world, you are not affected by it. So this is the purpose of this chapter. Prakriti, Kshetra, Kshetragya, Vibhag, Yoga. By union to God, to our being, union to our being, by separating Purusha and Prakriti. So first we have to discover what is Purusha, what is this Kshetragya, what is the Gyaya, what is to be known. If we can discover this, then the Prakriti will drop away. Drop away means all its effects will go. That time we'll see it is one. One is playing with another. God is playing with God. There is no separate existence of anything else. It is the same self playing in different ways. As Sri Ramakrishna said, that everything will peep out. And that peeping of self, presence of the self, you will understand. So there will be no suffering. That is the goal of life. So we'll stop here. This is to be heard over and over again, so that gradually this hearing will be so strong, the conviction will come. And when conviction comes, it's not far away from realization. Generally what happens, we hear again and again and we think nothing is happening. No. Conviction comes in course of time. And when conviction comes, that's also a kind of realization. I asked once my teacher, Swami Shanta Swarupanand, said, Maharaj, nothing is happening. So he said, are you believe that, yes, this is that, the self is there? Yes, something is there. Are you convinced about it? Yes. So he said, if you are convinced about it, that means you have grown. That is a kind of realization. So conviction should come first. This self is separate from all other things. It's the only observer. If we can cultivate this, lots of problems will be solved. Then even when body goes away, you are not worried about it. So this to be cultivated, Atmava are srotabhya, mantabhya, nididhyasitabhya. So this is to be heard over and over and over again. Then we have to contemplate over and over again to remove all our doubts. And when that is done, then we are to be steeped in it. That is the goal of our life. Otherwise, what is the goal of life? Eating, drinking, merrymaking? It cannot be. Even animals do the same thing. We are not animals. So this is the goal of life that we are to achieve, and we are to pray to Lord that He should lead us to cultivate this so that our life is fulfilled. So thank you very much. Next Sunday we will have no class. As you know, 4th of July is now around the corner, and we'll have a function at the retreat, Vedanta retreat, Kapuz. You are most welcome there. This time we are going to inaugurate a Zoroastrian shrine. Zoroastrian. Many people don't know even that there was a religion. Still it is there, Zoroastrian. And few 100,000 survived in India, and few survived in Iran. Now gradually they are reconverting. Some Islamic or Muslim people, they are reconverting to their original religion. So you are most welcome. Thank you very much. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tatsat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
Swami?
Yes.
You started the lecture by talking about the problem is we have not been trained correctly. That's what you said. If you were to give a one-sentence aphorism to be meditated on, what would that be in terms of what's the antidote to not being trained properly?
Excuse me, I know your throat is... could you kindly repeat?
When we started, you said the problem is we have not been trained properly.
Yeah.
If you were to give a one-sentence instruction to a trainee, what would it be?
Okay. So, you see, training is very vital. You know, a military man, policeman, they do tremendous work. But before that, they are trained. So, all the scriptures are guidelines of training. So that's why this study also is a part of training. And we can do impossible things by training. You know, people go and scale the Everest, even go to moon. But before going, the training is a must. So this training, our training is spiritual training. And what are the things to be trained? That is given here in our scriptures. And by the grace of our gurus, we have been initiated. We got initiation on that path. So the training, when we will see Brahman or say self everywhere, then we are perfected being. Till that time, we are to continue this training. That's why we need to hear over and over again. So training makes us perfect. Training makes us perfect. So training, that means we are to practice this over and over again. We have been initiated by our gurus, but we need to train our mind to see this, that God is everywhere. If we see that, then there will be no hatred, no undue infatuation. We are to see God everywhere. We are to honor, but not undue infatuation. So this happens when mind is trained. So that's what I understand um, what I said that time.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ma.
Viveka, Viveka, Vivekananda. Fearless and free of doubt, holy and pure art thou. On bended knee I bow to thee, Swamiji. With power and energy and vision for all to see, you gave away all for free, Swamiji, Swamiji. You finished all that you had to do and conquered all with love and truth. You gave us what we cannot lose. Viveka, Viveka, Vivekananda. Viveka, Viveka, Vivekananda. Devotion that never died and wisdom personified. Your praises heard far and wide, Swamiji, Swamiji. And when Mother's work is done, the world will all know we're one. Freedom revealed, shining sun, Swamiji, 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 Swamiji.